What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome to r/AskReddit with my horrible artwork, where today a couple getting married goes wildly overboard with the wedding theme. Also, if you want to see a face reveal, I don't know why you would, stick around to the end of the video because I'm finally putting myself out there for the world. So the AskReddit question was, what's the cringiest thing you've seen a bride and groom do for their wedding? At the reception line after the church wedding ceremony, the bride had a large bottle of her favorite perfume and sprayed each guest with it, male or female, whether they wanted it or not, as they entered the banquet hall. Some guests complained that the smell of perfume was so strong that they lost their appetite and couldn't partake of the banquet. Oh. Oh man, that just reminds me of Michelle, the woman I mentioned from the last AskReddit video. Oh my gosh. Frick. You see, if you do something like that, you need to be doing an outdoor type setting. You need to be doing the banquet outdoors, so that it can sort of dissipate. Frick. Bride shows up almost 2 hours late to her own wedding. Southern California in an open field with no water and no shade. She showed up and wants to get married in her yoga outfit. The groom shut it down, and when she refused to change her clothes, the groom decided to leave her looking stupid and they never got married. Edit, I spoke with my uncle, and it turns out the groom had speculation that his fiancée was sleeping with her personal trainer. When she showed up in her yoga outfit, it was all he needed to call off the wedding. She ended up married to her personal trainer and divorced again. Yeah, that would, Oh, frick, I can't imagine showing up to a wedding in a yoga outfit. I mean, frick. It's a wedding, for crying out loud. Take it seriously, my goodness. They sang their vows to each other, but neither had a singing voice. Vows were generally bat-crap insane, like submissive in the bedroom and not asking about where she was going. The auto-tune microphones were a terrible idea. Their vow songs shared a chorus and it was awful, and they expected the guests to sing along with the chorus. The vows singing lasted 20 minutes. Pure cringe. Okay, so totally ADD thing, but that reminds me of last summer when my youngest sister got married. So the brother that's in between me and the youngest brother had been joking around all night that he was going to give a speech at the end and all this other stuff, and we didn't think he was serious, but at the end, she kind of forced him to get up there. She's like, no, you've been saying you're going to give a speech, so give a speech. So he gets up there, and he starts rambling on, and I'm just like, okay, you know, it's the brother's speech, whatever. He's got license to be weird. But then, he started out, he's like, but now we're going to do a little song to celebrate them, and I'm just like, wait, what? So all of a sudden, he's like, I want you all to join in with me. And then he just gets everyone chanting, you know, Megan and Jake, Megan and Jake. And I'm just like, what the frick is this? This is the most bizarre, absurd thing I've ever seen at a wedding. They bought an apple orchard after leaving the city to live a simpler life, and really doubled down on the apple theme. Apples everywhere, on the table, in baskets all around the venue, on the podium where they got married, pictures of apples hanging everywhere, small fake trees with apples tossed under them. The dude marrying them had an apple tie on. Apples somehow incorporated into every dish for the reception. The cake was even shaped like an apple. It was really freaking bizarre. They sold the orchard a couple of years later because they had no idea what they were doing. That would be weird. I have to admit, that would be really weird. But follow-ups to that really made me laugh. I'm guessing no doctors attended the wedding. Literally standing outside the windows, scratching the walls and hissing loudly. That visual just had me busting a gut for like 2 minutes. Come on, okay, I can't be the only one who thinks that. When I was in high school, one of my hockey teammates had a kid with his girlfriend when they were juniors. They decided to get married, and the wedding was officiated by my teammate's dad, who also happened to be our head coach. The entire wedding was the bride and groom's direct family and the hockey team, at a Golden Corral. Then the reception was at the same Golden Corral. Then we had a hockey game that night. The other team we played that night somehow found out about it and hounded the guy the whole time. They were a bunch of jerks. Now about 7 years later, they have a second kid. Dad is an officer in the Air Force. Both of his kids play hockey, and he coaches and refs, and him and his wife look very happy, so I'm glad it all worked out for them. Edit, for all of you asking about the game, I honestly don't remember if we won. Hockey season's a long one with a lot of games, and it was 7 to 8 years ago. And as a side note, I really did not mean for this to be a rip on the couple. They're amazing together and doing an awesome job raising their kids in a loving household where they want for nothing. They haven't had the easiest lives, but they're doing the best they can and absolutely killing it. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I've seen his dad, our old coach, at alumni games, and they're such an awesome family. They're the perfect example of the fact that you don't need a giant, expensive, fancy wedding to be happy. As long as you have each other, family, and friends, it's a joyous occasion that should be celebrated. Hey, I completely get that second point there. You don't need a super fancy wedding. I mean, my wife and I, we got married, and including the caterer, I think we spent less than $5,000. And the caterer was a wedding gift for my parents, so yeah. I mean, in total, the two of us spent maybe about $2,000, $2,100 or something like that. Because, we rented out our local church for free. The officiation we got done for free, and it was just very low-key. And we've been super happy ever since. Don't think I'd have a wedding at the Golden Corral, though. That's really not my scene. My cousin's wedding featured the groom driving a small tractor around the outdoor venue while the bride rode on the back to the tune of "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy" on repeat for about 30 minutes after their vows. The guests just hung out and waited, thinking it would be a quick jaunt and then we could enjoy some refreshments and food. Nope. Like half an hour to make sure they got good pictures and video, then even more time for pictures sitting stationary on the tractor. It was blazing hot with no canopy or cover, and I was very pregnant, so I was especially miserable. Thing is, he's not even a farmer. They live in an apartment. Edit, OMG, this blew up. Wow, to think my top ever comment was about my cousin's bizarre wedding. I do want to add that I like my cousin. He is nice, just kinda clueless. His wife is the same, and they are perfect for each other. They're still together and now have many children, none of whom are named John or Deere. Aw. When I picked this thread, when it said cringy, I kind of expected to see a lot of stories that resulted in people splitting, but it's surprising how, in most of these, they've stayed together. And not just stayed together, but thrived. That's cute. Weird, but cute. Alright, and now for the moment that I'm sure none of you have been waiting for. Drumroll, please. Ta-da! I know, I'm not really all that pretty to look at, and this studio is probably a touch disappointing from someone who's done voiceover work around the world. Yet, it works. So, yeah. You'll be seeing a lot more of me around the channel because one of the big things I got from a professional review was that people wanted to see a face, and so here we are. But I have to admit, it is kind of nice to finally introduce myself to all of you. All that having been said, though, that was r/AskReddit. And if you want a video in a similar vein of really funny family stories, then go ahead and click on the link right here. Or if you want to see some more badly drawn Reddit, go ahead and click on the playlist link right here. Now you guys stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you all on Friday with more positive and wholesome Reddit content. Until then, stay beautiful, people.